Hey, so in the previous video, we looked at using standard primitives to construct sort of a simple robot. And again, the aims and objectives were just to familiarize yourself with sort of movement tools, the placement of objects, and the creation of the standard primitives as well. In this video, what we're going to look at is sort of a bit more, we'll recap on some of the tools, but we're going to look at sort of the hierarchy as well, and just managing that scene overall. So again, with this here, what we could do, if you've not messed around with any of the other primitives, we can create spheres and things as well. So perhaps maybe you want to create a sphere for the eyes, click auto grid, and what we can do is we can just populate that on there quite nicely. We can use the align tool, to align it, X position. That's said there as well. There we go. We've got like sort of an eye on there. Again, same for this one. I'm just going to create a copy. So hold shift, move this across, and you can line it up. Do that. Those positions. Click OK, and then we're free to sort of change that color now. Place this on. You can see you can start getting some really nice sort of features. Similar with the mouth area as well. So maybe we want to create another box. We're going to change the color to white. Whoops, no, I'm not. I'm going to first draw out the box on here. Something like that. And what we can do is that color white. Got sort of a mouth area. I'm going to select these teeth, or the indicated teeth, if you like. Grab that. Adjust those positions so it sits nice and central, and you can start building up using the different geometric shapes, and similar to this one, let's hold shift and use the Z axes there. I'm just going to move them into a position I want. Let's change the color. I'm going to put it to match the body. And then what we'll do is we'll modify the height. So at the minute we're on 10. So let's do maybe 2.5 for them. Again, it'd be the same in this one. 2.5. Yeah, you start, your robot can start to build up. It starts taking a bit more shape. But continue the process. And in addition to that now, what you'll see on my left-hand side, I'm actually in the layers tab at the moment, so you can see you've got the hierarchy and layers tab. Now in 3D modeling, there's very rarely a model that is made up of a singular mesh object. Maybe that's not true. More organic meshes tend to be singular, but a lot of the stuff for real world sort of modeling and the harder surface things tend to be made up of multiple objects, not too dissimilar to this robot, and it's really important to sort of be able to organize your scenes. Just as a recap, if you haven't got this on here, remember you can toggle the scene hierarchy on and off at any point, and again, I'm in the sort by layer. So with this, I can sort of come through and I can start naming certain aspects of this model. And again, when scenes start getting really complex, it's very, very important to use an appropriate naming convention. This is not unique to 3ds Max. This is standard across many different programs that you'll use. Whether you're you're doing programming, creative 3D modeling, you're working with game engines, you're going to have good, clear naming conventions. But it's good practice to get in early. Now, to rename this, I can do it one of two ways. I can right click and click rename, and then we can just put in the name we want. So you can see there. I can select the other box here. I can rename it from the right hand side here. Oops. I think I've accidentally put hashtag there. I can also select, let's select the neck area. And what I can do in the creative, I've already created the object. You can see I've got the color here. I can rename it from here as well. There we go. In addition to that, we can organize our objects into layers. I'm not going to go through rename all these, but that's something for you guys to do as part of your challenge. But we can also create layers as well. So here, you can add layers to the scene. So here you can see I've created a layer. Now, what I could do is maybe I want to separate this model out into different layers. Or perhaps maybe I want the entirety of this model just on one layer. So what I would do is I would click and I would hold shift and click so I can make a selection, and then I can drag those into this layer here. Now the default layer is still on, but it's not an active layer. So the blue sort of, I suppose, are like sheets of paper, representative of your layers, really, your layer stack. The blue indicated here means this is my active layer. So what that means is if I was to create another object, you can see it adds it automatically to that layer. So to change that, if I wanted to go back to default, I wanted to create another object, you'll see now it adds it to that active layer. So you can change that yourselves. You can also create multiple layers. You can rename these layers as well. So if you right click, you can rename. So again, you know, rename this to robot. And then maybe you want again another layer just for scene management or something like that. You know, we can add different layers to this. So I think part of your challenge now is continue using those geometric shapes to build up a simple robot, and make use of the move tools, the move in place, you know, scale, rotate, and the parameters, and name and organize your robot. Name and organize your robot, and to see, you know, keep good practice and consistent practice. And that will wrap up this tutorial.